Of course it gets worse. It always gets worse. Michael Tait from the bands, the Christian, contemporary Christian music bands, the Newsboys and DC Talk, has now also been accused by a woman of drawing her and watching in a hotel room while she was raped. And the Newsboys tour manager covered it up. So people did know about this behavior for a long time. Julie Roy's website, The Roy's Report, has released this story. Please go read it. You literally can just Google Julie Roy's, click her website. It's one of the first stories on there. It came out yesterday. The details are horrific. I cannot talk about this stuff on a platform. I think you should read the story because there's a lot of spiritual bypassing happening here. The woman who is accusing Michael Tait of this worked for a Christian ministry that put on an event shortly after the God's Not Dead movie, and the Newsboys were one of the groups that were like headlining this event. The behaviors of the male tour manager throughout the story make me sick, but I will say that her friends and her boss in the ministry that she worked for all did the right thing in this situation, and it like gives me hope for her humanity. And we don't hear about that a lot in these Christian spaces, in these evangelical cult-like spaces. So I've like found that really encouraging in the midst of all of this horrific news that we're learning about this man. But what stood out to me the most, again, is that Michael Tait confessed to doing this to the woman that it happened to and her friends that saw various things happen and were somewhat involved. And again, called it sin and apologized and said since he repented that they didn't need to go to any further authorities. And all of these women that he confessed to, mind you, were in their early 20s and in these evangelical spaces where spiritual bypassing of actual crimes is acceptable behavior.